He was never the fastest, nor the strongest, nor the most skillful. But he won, and he won like few others. This is the story of Thomas Müller. A boy from Weilheim, a quiet little town in Bavaria, born on September 13th, 1989. Son of Gerhard and Claudia Müller, he grew up playing football in the streets of Pale, with friends with dirty boots, scraped knees, and a smile on his face. As a child, no one imagined that this gangly boy who ran with loose arms and seemed clumsy would become a global football legend. At 10 years old, Bayern Munich discovered him. A club scout saw him playing for a small local team and decided to bring him to their youth academy. He didn't impress with technique, nor with physical presence. But there was something there, a different way of seeing the game, an instinct no one could explain. He rose through Bayern's youth ranks like an oddity. While others shone with stunning goals and dribbles, Müller stood out for what no one saw: the spaces, the movements, the vision, the composure in front of goal. In 2008, he made his debut for the senior team, just 1 minute on the pitch against Hamburg. But for him, it was a world. The following year, his confidence grew, and the first to notice was Louis van Gaal. The methodical and demanding Dutch coach saw in Müller the perfect piece for his tactical puzzle. Someone who followed the system but with creative freedom. Van Gaal didn't just launch Müller. He shaped him. He said a phrase that would define him forever: Thomas Müller always plays. And play he did. He played a lot. In the 2009-2010 season, at just 20 years old, he scored 13 goals in the Bundesliga and provided 10 assists. He was part of a team that reached the Champions League final, losing only to Jose Mourinho's Inter Milan. Müller stood out for something that would make him immortal: his intelligent movement. He was the Raumdeuter, the interpreter of spaces, term he coined himself to describe his unique style. And then came the 2010 World Cup. At just 20, Joachim Löw took him to South Africa. Germany captivated the world. They beat England 4-1. Then crushed Maradona's Argentina 4-0. Müller scored 5 goals and provided 3 assists. He was the tournament's top scorer and voted the best young player. The world now knew this ordinary-looking German with extraordinary football, and he returned to Munich as a star. In the years that followed, Thomas Müller was the heart of Bayern, always consistent, always decisive. Never the media darling, but almost always the most important on the pitch. In 2012, he experienced the pain of defeat at home. In the Champions League final against Chelsea, he scored what seemed to be the title-winning goal for Bayern. But fate was cruel. The equalizer came late, and in the penalty shootout, the trophy slipped away. He cried. The fans cried. But that wasn't the end. In 2013 came the redemption. Bayern dominated Europe. Champions of the Bundesliga with ease. champions of the German Cup, champions of the UEFA Super Cup, and finally, Champions League winners beating Borussia Dortmund 2-1. Müller was an undisputed starter, a pillar of one of the greatest teams in history, and then came 2014, the World Cup in Brazil. Germany was ready. Müller was ready. In the opener, a hat-trick against Portugal, then a goal against the United States, and then the game that would go down in eternity. Germany 7, Brazil 1. It was Müller who scored the first goal. A goal that opened Pandora's box. That match is remembered by all, but few mention the one who started the massacre, Thomas Müller. In the final, Germany beat Argentina with a goal from Götze. Müller didn't score, but he was tactically essential. Once again, he finished the World Cup with 5 goals and with a gold medal around his neck. World champion. National hero, but his humility remained intact. In the years that followed, Bayern continued to dominate Germany. Müller won title after title, and even as coaches changed, he remained a key piece. In 2020, at 30 years old, he reached another peak. Under Hansi Flick, he played deeper, almost as a playmaker. He provided assists like never before. Bayern won everything: Bundesliga, German Cup, Champions League, Super Cup, Club World Cup. Müller was once again one of the season's best. His style remained strange. To younger eyes, awkward, no explosiveness, no flair, but lethal. While defenders chased the ball, Müller was already where it would end up. In 2022, he played his last World Cup. It wasn't how he wanted it. Germany crashed out in the group stage, and he, emotional, hinted at a farewell to the national team. 21 matches, 44 goals, 40 assists, and a World Cup. Enough for any player, but for him it seemed like too little. Because Müller never played for awards. He played for joy, for love of the shirt, for pride. In 2023, he became Bayern's most played player in the 21st century. And in 2025, at 35, he won his 13th Bundesliga, breaking all records. Titles with Bayern Munich, 13, Bundesligas 6, German Cups 8, German Super Cups 2, Champions Leagues 2, UEFA Super Cups 2, Club World Cups, the numbers of a legend. But for the fans, Thomas Müller is more than numbers. He is identity. He is charisma. He is commitment. He is the face of an era. And off the pitch, he's that simple guy who loves horses, who jokes with teammates, who smiles at cameras in his own quirky way, never involved in controversies, never abandoned the club, always loyal, always on the right side of history. Thomas Müller won't be remembered as the most talented, but he will be remembered as the most unique, the most loyal, the most intelligent, the most necessary. In a football world that became increasingly physical, mathematical, and demanding, he shone with something invisible, with his vision, with his timing, with his interpretation of spaces. He invented his own role, Raumdeuter, interpreter of spaces. And no one ever interpreted the game like him. Thomas Müller proved that football doesn't belong only to the virtuosos, the geniuses with the ball at their feet. He showed that tactical intelligence, game reading, and dedication to the collective can also create legends. He wasn't the painting but the frame. He wasn't the music but the rhythm. He was the one who organized the chaos, the conductor who played the silence. On the pitch, he was the player no one knew how to mark. He defied labels. He shunned the spotlight, but he was always there at the exact moment, in the right place in history, and off the pitch he remained human, smiling, funny, loved by teammates, coaches, fans, even rivals. His legacy goes beyond trophies. It's in the details. It's in every young player who learns that, even without being the most brilliant, they can be the most important. It's in every coach who seeks the player who makes the team tick. It's in every fan who sees that football can still be genuine, light, and human. Thomas Müller was the soul of a generation, and he will forever be the player who reinvented space and, with it, reinvented football.